All right, we are live, which of course means that YouTube is going to take a long ass time to. Oh, oh, wonderful. Can I hear myself? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, it's working. All right. Well, I am not going to jump into things quite immediately. I first just want to kind of introduce this topic and why I wanted to talk about it. So, this particular YouTuber, Ryan Kinel, I did end up looking up his name for those who watched the video that came out today, because I wanted to know how to pronounce it. Is not something that I've watched very much at all. Is never particularly interested me, and I've watched a few people kind of in this sphere with the interest of potentially making response videos to them or talking about them, or critiquing them. And what I quickly found out is that these particular people, a certain kind of subset of this community, basically has absolutely no clue what's going on, to the extent that making an actual like long form critique is incredibly difficult because they're just kind of spewing bullshit. I was barely able to do that with the Kingpin video, and that was only because I had just been watching the show, and so I was personally I had just been watching Daredevil, so I was thinking about it, it was on the mind. But this is not one of those situations. This is very much I just wanted to go in, watch some of this guy's videos, see how we feel about them. I already titled this probably something explanatory. I don't think I'm going to change the title, but if I do, it'll probably still be something inflammatory, because I have absolutely no faith in this guy's ability to make even remotely functional takes whatsoever. But we are doing something slightly different from usual streams of mine, because I don't really do this very often. And that is going to be just watching stuff that I haven't watched before. It's just going to be clicking on stuff that I find interesting and seeing what we have to say about it. I forgot to even explain why I even care about this. I've watched a bunch of these people. I realized there's no kind of long form critique that I can make. And so I was like, okay, I guess there's just nothing to talk about. There's no way that I can talk about these people. And then I realized, now that I'm live streaming, I can just do this on here. And at this point, I don't really need to spend my time structuring arguments. I can just criticize the person right here and now, and that will be enough. So yeah, let's get on that. In particular, I want to kind of start small. We'll talk about Ironheart because I have no strong opinions on that one way or the other, and we'll move from there. We'll see how we feel about this guy.
Get more in 24 at the Lewiston New Car Dealer.
I gotta start I gotta mute this stuff. I literally do not want to play other people's ads. Okay. All right. Let's see what you got, Ryan. Is that too loud?
We've been talking about the failure of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for quite some time, specifically when it decided to become the MCU instead of the MCU. And really, the Marvels is the culmination of all of that.
So one of the reasons why I find these people interesting is because they have these really strong, ridiculous opinions, and they open with them as though they are facts, right? The MCU is failing the second it became the MCU. It's just complete nonsense. And that's why it's difficult to talk about, because if I'm going to make a long form response to this, what am I supposed to say? No, it's not. That's just a thing you made up, right? You just decided that that's a thing, and I don't really think that's an argument. But I personally prefer actually making arguments, actually having a clue what I'm talking about, so there's just not much to delve into in depth here. But hey, we're doing a live stream, we can kind of laugh at things a little bit.
A cringe girl power movie that was a massive box office flop. And when you look at Marvel, they've got another one on the way. Granted, this one's being made by Sony instead of Disney, but Madam Web.
Okay, he has a video on Madam Web that I kind of want to look at, so I don't want to say anything about Madam Web right now. But I do have strong opinions about criticizing this movie.
Already looks to be a colossal disaster as well. If you thought it was over, if you thought failures like Echo, the streaming series Echo, or
Echo was pretty baller. In terms of Marvel shows, Echo was, I think I said it was a 7 out of 10 in my video today. I pretty much stand by that. It was pretty good. It was not a failure.
Marvels. If you thought that was the last we've seen of cringe girl power shows or movies, you would be wrong, because there's something else that's been delayed multiple times that virtually no one is interested in, that people know is going to be a massive disaster because this character failed in the comic books over and over again.
Okay, so I'm going to speed this guy up because, good God, very slow talking. We'll try 1.5. If that's too fast, then we'll slow it down. This is something that I commented on in that video responding to him, which, you know, I guess that might become a problem here with responding. Is like, I'm going to be making some of the same points that I was already making, but nobody was asking for this is such a meaningless, like, coward argument. It's so, you people, and by you people I of course mean basically everyone, have been criticizing Marvel, have been criticizing Hollywood for being uncreative, for not coming out with new stuff, for not taking risks, for any of that business. And then, like, they start coming out with stuff that's not just immediate, obvious, boilerplate, whatever, and all of a sudden nobody's asking for it, and we're making fun of it on that grounds. And I find it so strange. And at the end of the day, it's really kind of a zero-sum game with people like this. I think, like, there's really nothing worth. It's literally either it panders to them and they like it, or it doesn't pander to them and they don't like it. You know, there's no actual, like, analysis here. Nobody was asking for Guardians of the Galaxy, and then it turned out to be pretty goddamn good. Very few people, if anyone, was asking for Ant-Man, and then, you know, people, I think, fairly well liked that. It's literally just like, oh, there's a black woman in this show. Well, fuck that. Nobody's asking for that.
Well, they're still going forward with it. Ironheart Star responds to concerns of her Iron Man replacement hero. That's right, Dominique Thorne as Ironheart, being introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a character that was unnecessary and cringe and stupid that nobody wants to see. Don't worry, they're still moving.
A character that is dumb and cringe and stupid. That is, yeah, all right. No, you got me.
Forward with it. Ironheart Star confirms major update on MCU series after multiple delays. Ironheart gets a huge and exciting update from the star of the MCU series, Dominique Thorne. Marvel's Ironheart Disney Plus series.
Whoa, exciting. I'm sorry, I'm not excited for this show. I object to that language. I almost said superfluously. I object to that language. Nobody's excited for this show.
Actually concluded filming. Now, my understanding is it actually concluded filming a long fucking time ago, and it's likely so much of a mess that they've just continued to push it back and push it back and push it back. But this was fairly recently, according to Deadline. You get this little snippet.
Everything has concluded. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, I can say strap in, get ready. It will be a ride, much like they all are. It is an epic journey, and one that I'm very excited to share.
Dominique Thorne's going to be like 30 years old by the time this actually sees the light of day. Yeah, it's done filming. It's exciting. We're moving forward. We can't wait. This is, again...
Okay, wait, what was that? What was that news? Like, that was just, like, that was nothing. It was literally just a 13-minute clip of a regular actor doing promo. Like, I feel like if you had something worthwhile to say about this show, you could find something other than literally just the actor saying, I finished the show. You should watch the show. Like, what? Like, I kind of wonder what this content model looks like behind the scenes, because they're, you know, they put out ridiculous amounts of videos, because obviously this guy is one of the Geeks and Gamers people, at least I believe he still is. And so there's this model of just, like, turning absolutely nothing into a video or into a stream. Like what was that? That's what the video is titled Ironheart Star confirms next cringe Marvel disaster is almost here. Like, she just said that her show's coming out. Like, is literally a show that we've all known is coming out for a very long time is news now because it's still coming out? Like, is that really that's the angle we're going for?
A character, just like we've seen so often in Marvel. What they decided to do is the same failures they made in the comic books. Get rid of all of these other legacy heroes, put women in those roles instead, and then they fail. You know, the series fails, the comic fails, it has to get rebooted because nobody cares about them, yet they will refuse to actually admit that they failed. They decided to bring so many of those characters directly into the MCU, skipping over a line of other actual worthy characters that people are interested in the process. And
okay, one, obviously they literally did this with Miles Morales, and it turned out very, very well, I would say, because he was incredibly unpopular with these sorts of people when he was first when he first made his debut in the comics, and now he is one of the most popular Marvel characters in public consciousness. So this is meaningless from that front anyway. But I also have to ask, I mean, we know that Marvel's a business, right? Like, we're aware that is the case, or I guess Disney is a business. If it fails every single time, if it's unsuccessful every single time, why do they keep doing it? Like, they're not doing it for social They don't care. Disney does not give a shit about gay people. We know this for a fact. This is not did or doesn't give a shit about women or black people. Like, they have no strong opinions one way or the other on that. It is literally whatever makes them money. So why do they keep going down this road? Why do they continue doing it? And of course, the obvious counter to that is literally Miles Morales. Miles Morales was a character in a very, very similar position to Ironheart. Took a while to like find his footing and everything, and now is incredibly popular and is making them a shitload of money. Like it just feels weird to be saying like, oh, this fails every time as Into the Spider-Verse like looms in the background, but.
Man, if you don't think that this is going to be a disaster of epic proportions, do you remember some of the casting that they bragged about for this series, how excited they were? Marvel Studios' first trans masculine TV actor speaks out on major role.
Epic.
One of the first trans actors to play a character on an MCU Disney Plus offerings.
Good for
talked
him.
About the importance of his part. I'm quoting there because that's what this article says. As far as LGBTQ plus representation goes, Marvel Studios has steadily been gaining some solid momentum. It's weird.
Fucking babies.
As the focus on diversity and representation has increased, their success levels have decreased, whether it's box office, whether it's streaming, whatever. Interesting how that works. They're inversely proportional. I wonder why that is the case. Well, don't worry. Marvel, it's coming soon, guys.
See, what is this? What is the point? What is he getting out of this? Like, it was just an article announcing that there's a trans guy in the show. And you're like, oh, we knew it was going to be disaster when we found out that there would be a trans person. Like, is that the standard for quality of shows? Like, what is the, like, I don't know. It's just, it's so bizarre to me that these people exist and that they can literally make up a clickbait media YouTube title out of literally nothing. Just complete and utter nonsense, barely worth even considering at all. And of course, then here I am talking about it, but you know, I'm here to make fun of it because it's really freaking bad.
Including filming. We're ready to bring it to you. They're not going to cancel it. And any hopes that people had that this series would never.
Also, sorry, it just hit me. The stuff that they did with Rachel Zegler, where she was talking about. And they did this with Sharmina Obaid-Chinoy too, where they do some interview talking about their upcoming movie or their upcoming show, and these, you know, the Chud types or whatever will make fun of the fact that she didn't say how excited she was, or she didn't say that she was super happy to be a part of this project. She was just talking about her politics or whatever. And then they come up with a video. Here's the lead actress of Ironheart saying she's really excited and she thinks it's a great story and she's happy for everyone to see it. And like, oh, suddenly we don't care about that. Suddenly that doesn't matter to us, even though this is the thing they were complaining about other people not doing. But it's nothing. Like, if anything was going to be newsworthy, it would be that, right? It would be them saying, oh, hey, look, this actress is actually invested in making a good story or actually cares about the character. But no, of course, they don't actually care about that when it happens.
Never see the light of day. Apparently, just like Echo, you focus, you virtue signal too hard, you focus on diversity too much, so you can't actually cancel it, even though everyone knows it's going to be another nightmare. A character that was rejected time and time again, that nobody wants. A character that when she did debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, everyone thought it was cringe as fuck. Don't worry.
Everybody, what the fuck are you talking about? People liked her. She wasn't even like a super significant character in that movie. She was just, like, she was a part of the film. This is one of the reasons why this content is so interesting to me, is that these people will just like make bold, ridiculous, insane assertions off of nothing. They'll just tell you, oh yeah, everyone thought that character was cringe. Source, I made it the fuck up. Like, I don't know. Just out of nowhere. It's a complete nothing burger. But they have to stretch it somehow, you know?
Ironheart series still going full speed ahead for the MCU.
God bless Ironheart. Okay, all right. Yeah, that was an interesting little trip. I'm kind of hoping for something a little bit more newsworthy. I want to see if there's anything interesting in the comments here. No, it's pretty much just like asserting. Okay, yeah, nope, that's boring. All right. Let's move forth. There was another one I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. I want to talk about the Ray movie disaster. I really want to talk about or see what he has to say about Madam Web. But yeah, let's see what this is. Oh my god. What the fuck are these ads? I should just have my, like, I actually don't know if ad blocker works anymore, does it? But I have it on my regular one, but this is a guest tab. But good god. Oh, why thank you, Jordan. Appreciate that. Let's see how this goes. Unless you're being sarcastic, that'd be kind of unfortunate. Also, this is a long ass intro.
to what we've seen from the past several years. The past decade plus of Disney Star Wars, Lucasfilm has been in complete and total chaos. We've seen so many things canceled, so many directors hired and fired, so many writers brought on and then subsequently dismissed. And they're
okay, if this is the entire critique, like if this was it, I would be almost satisfied, because I'm like, yeah, that is an actual kind of salient issue with a lot of like Marvel, Star Wars, whatever stuff, is the fact that they don't have any sort of consistency. They don't have any clear plan for what they're doing. Like that to me, yeah, that to me seems like a worthy thing to criticize. But of course, I'm sure we're about to go downhill given the words that are up in the title here.
Projects just end up getting shit canned. Well, once again, that's what people thought had a chance of happening to the Rey movie after we saw all the controversy surrounding Charmin Obeid-Chinoy.
Oh yeah, I 100% thought that the Rey movie was going to get canceled. Like I heard about that and I thought, like that sounds like something that they're just announcing as some possible vague hypothetical. But I didn't really think, like, Rey's not an incredibly popular character. I mean, obviously a lot of people like her, but I don't think that she's that they put in enough legwork, particularly in Rise of Skywalker, to like actually give her some of that staying power. And if this movie does give her that, like, that's fantastic. I would be, all in favor. But I had no idea that they were actually going to go through with a Rey movie. I think I probably thought that it was like a fake leak or a joke or something like that. But I mean, hell, all right, they're making it. I hope it's good, right? That's I thought what we wanted here was, okay, we're sad when things are not good, but we want them to be good.
The woke activist director who has absolutely no business directing a Star Wars movie after her
I would love to hear you justify that. I would love to hear you justify why she has no business directing a Star Wars movie. Because I have heard people say that repeatedly. I've heard people say that over and over again. And I don't know all that much about this person's career. Like, I have no super strong, like leg to stand on here. Like, I'm taking the agnostic position on this. And people will be like, well, she directed documentaries about acid attacks in Pakistan or whatever. I'm like, okay, and? They'd be like, well, you really think that translates to a Star Wars movie? I'm like, I mean, probably not, but she's done other things. Like, it's just weird. Like, people pick out one specific thing she's done in her career, and that makes her less qualified somehow. It's so bizarre to me. It's so confusing. It feels like, I mean, Bo Burnham directed the movie 8th Grade. It'd be really weird if people came out and they were like, really? You mean the guy that ran a YouTube channel? Oh, he's directing a movie now? How do those skills transfer? It's like, well, presumably there are other skills involved here, right? Like, I don't know. She wrote for Miss Marvel, which, although it wasn't like a super popular show, was pretty well received by the people who did watch it. So, like, maybe they have a certain amount of faith in this person. I don't fucking know. It's so weird. It's literally, there's no justification that I've ever seen anyone come up with. It's just, they don't like a vaguely brown woman making a Star Wars movie. And I know that I say that, and I understand that someone might feel a little bit like insulted, a little bit offended, a little bit triggered by that. But there's really no other justification that I've ever seen that comes even close to the explanatory power of that one.
Comments went viral, so much backlash. The announcement of the Mando and Grogu movie, there was a report out there that the Rey movie was going to be delayed indefinitely, and people thought, wow, we might actually see this thing get canceled. Well, that wasn't exactly the case, and so many different people have come out and said that is not the case. We're not going to see that happen, and in fact,
it's not even delayed. That's what that's the word there. It's okay. That's actually very surprising to me. I assumed it would have been at least. What release date were they expecting?
It's the opposite. Now we know what Daisy Ridley's getting paid, $12.5 million. Now we know that the movie's still slated to come out December of 2026. And if you can believe it, with all the different Star Wars reports out there, it's actually gotten worse. Because Daisy Ridley's Rey, the character that nobody wants, that nobody's interested in, not only will probably be appearing in the Rey movie directed by Charmin Obeid-Chinoy, but she might be making another appearance as well. Star Wars, Daisy Ridley's Rey.
Okay. This seems so... I don't understand how a person can be passionate about the fact that a character is going to appear in a movie. Like, negatively passionate. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like... Actually, no, I really cannot think of a reason for that, short of it being like a character is incredibly overused or overhyped. Like, I could see someone being upset that Boba Fett's going to be in something because it's like, oh my god, Boba Fett was so much more interesting when there was less of him. But, like, there's not a whole lot of Rey content out there, and Rey is not the kind of character that Boba Fett is. So I do not get it. Like, if anyone is in this sphere and they can explain to me why they give a fuck about any of this, I would love to hear it.
Rumored to return for more than one new movie. Now, I saw some very like dumb reports out there. When you get these things and it gets so much in the algorithm, there's a lot of people like chasing clicks. You get people that have no fucking idea what they're talking about. At one point in time, it got reported that Daisy Ridley's New Jedi Order thing was a trilogy instead of just a movie. No, it's one standalone movie, not a trilogy. However, there is another Star Wars movie in production by Sean Levy, the guy who's doing Deadpool, and of course, worked on Stranger Things, stuff like that. He's got a Star Wars movie as well that not as many people have been talking about. Apparently, there's a chance that Rey appears in that movie too. Star Wars sequel trilogy star Daisy Ridley's apparently.
Okay, don't these people like the Deadpool people though? I mean, wouldn't that be almost a positive mark? I assume that these people like Deadpool. I mean, it's like it says funny swear word and has inappropriate edgy joke in it. I would assume so. So I don't know. To me, that feels like a potential positive. Like, oh, cool, she's in good hands. You know, I know that like they don't think that I think she's Pakistani, right? Like I know that's where she made her documentaries. Like I know they don't think that the Pakistani woman is qualified to make movies because of a source list that they're keeping secret from us. But I cannot figure out like what specifically about this looks bad to them, and that would be very interesting to me. I wish that they would tell me why specifically they have a problem with this news, but we're not going to get that. Also, sorry, keys jingling for a second here. All right.
A new hefty paycheck for returning as Rey Skywalker may not be for just one movie.
Also, don't you think if she's making a shitload of money, that probably suggests that like she's doing something for Disney, right? If they're willing to pay her that much, they probably expect her to make them money. Which, you know, if get woke, go broke was the actual like economic philosophy of Hollywood, the actual guiding principle here, you would not expect them to be doing that.
Okay, Ridley made herself name for herself with blah 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 blah. Rey's next film, rumored to be titled New Jedi Order, was next in the movie lineup from Lucasfilm, though the recently announced Mandalorian and Grogu has taken the spot. That also isn't necessarily 100% accurate. We don't know if that's in addition or if it's going to actually shift stuff back or not. That's just for the record.
This is meaningless.
Which will be directed by the Mandalorian creator Jon Favreau and be in production in late 2024. This, along with the lack of updates of Rey's next feature, caused a lot of questions. However, insider Jeff Snyder assured fans the movie is neither dead nor delayed indefinitely, predicting the Mandalorian film will be released May 22nd, 2026. I actually think it has a chance to be released earlier than that, if I'm being honest with myself. For an untitled Star Wars movie that Sharmina Obaid-Chinoy possibly coming out later that year. In his newsletter, Snyder notes that Sean Levy's Star Wars project might also include Rey in some form. Now, these are obviously just things he's hearing about it. It's very early in development.
I mean, yeah, she's a plot-significant character. That doesn't seem surprising to me. I'm hoping that he says something new. Otherwise, we're moving on.
Did hear that in all likelihood it was going to take place post sequels in that type of time frame. We heard rumors about.
Was that not obvious? There was no goddamn way. Like, were you expecting a Rey prequel? Because that sounds incredibly boring. I mean, I guess it could not be boring, but isn't the whole thing about her like it'd be like a Luke Skywalker prequel? Like, yeah, her life was boring and then it stopped being boring, but by this point you've already seen those movies.
About them bringing back Adam Driver in some way to be a part of that, because Sean Levy and Adam Driver have worked together before and are very good friends. But imagine, contrary to all the things that are out there, when a lot of Star Wars fans who don't want to see Rey back, who think that project's going to be a pile of shit, were celebrating because they thought this thing was going to be another thing that fell by the wayside, another thing that got stuck in developmental hell. Imagine where we are now, where it sounds like not only is that not delayed indefinitely, but it's just kind of normal working through the process. Nobody's left the project or anything like that. So not only might we be getting one Rey movie, but she might make another appearance in another movie as well.
He's just repeating
just
over.
When you think there might be some good.
This is content. Like, this is uploaded to YouTube. This isn't just straight live stream stuff. Like, you have the opportunity to edit some of this stuff down, but no, it's literally just constantly repeating the same thing over and over again. Rey's going to be in 2 movies. Also, reports say that Rey's going to be in 2 movies. Also, this report says that somebody thinks that Rey, get this, might be in 2 movies. Boom. All right. Yeah. Get that fucking 38,000 views. Jesus Christ. Gave you all of the information that you needed. Okay, Madam Web, I have to know.
So you think you know
his goddamn takes on this. We're just going through. Anyone who's currently new on this stream right now, I'm literally just going through this guy's stuff because, like, I guess I kind of want to just be able to say, like, oh yeah, this guy's really, really bad at media analysis, and I've never really watched a whole lot of him. So, we're finding out together, and I've got to say this is pretty rough so far. This is, I feel confident already in my ability to dismiss this person's critical ability, but yeah, we'll give it another little bit here.
After the massive failure of the Marvels, the biggest flop in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a cringe girl boss team-up movie that the fans completely and totally rejected, most people don't have too much faith that Sony's newest Marvel movie, Madam Web, which also appears to be a cringe girl power team-up movie, is going to have
Okay, I hope that he's going to justify this, but there is a piece of me that thinks it's probably just literally going to be there are women in this movie. Like, sincerely, I don't. I've not heard anyone, and maybe I'm living under a rock. I've not heard anyone saying, "Oh, the Madam Web movie looks like it's going to be a cringe girl boss movie." That is not even on the top 50 list of things that people are talking about the Madam Web movie.
Any success at the box office, especially when you combine just that with the fact that these are the same writers that did Morbius in the Sony Spider-Man universe that does not have Spider-Man, and we can.
Yes, it's going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. Like, I will legitimately be shocked if this movie's even a 5 out of 10. Like, sincerely, that would blow my goddamn mind. But, and this is the reason why, like, I wanted to talk about this, and I know that this movie isn't out yet, but it already kind of has like a place dear in my heart as a fun, ridiculous disaster, and I really hope that it lives up to that. And so watching a person just shit on it for all the wrong reasons is, I guess you could say triggering for me. I guess this is my, like, I need a safe space from people shit talking Madam Web in the wrong way. That's, you know, that's my, if someone could get on that, that'd be great.
Continue to hear bad thing after bad thing about this movie. Well, now it looks like the director officially has quashed all hope that people should get invested in this for any reason whatsoever. Madam Web director puts final nail in film's box office coffin. Confirms Spider-Man spinoff takes place, quote, in a standalone world. Now, to be clear, this is not what this was originally supposed to be. In fact, we found out not that long ago.
I was kind of two minds about this news when it came out, that that it's going to be its own standalone thing. Because on the one hand, obviously, yeah, it makes it connected to nothing else and whatever. But also, most movies aren't connected to something else. So it's like, okay, if they were making a good movie and it just happened to be a standalone thing, like, okay, who would give a shit? Like, why would I care? You know, obviously, it's going to be bad. And it's weird that they're making it standalone, assuming this is true. You kind of can't trust anything coming out of studios about facts about their media, because I think people are just kind of saying shit sometimes. But I don't know. I guess it's not really bad news in and of itself, I guess. Really, any news about Madam Web is good news, but, you know.
Oh, that originally, it was supposed to be in Andrew Garfield's universe. Andrew Garfield was supposed to be the Spider-Man in this Sony Spider-Man universe. That was what they were planning until, basically, in the middle of production, they decided, no, it's going to be Tom Holland's instead, so we can have this, synergy with the MCU. Well, that resulted in them having to, like, rewrite and reshoot a fuck ton of things specifically for this movie.
Yeah, why would Disney, Marvel allow Sony to make a Marvel movie in the MCU? Like, one, I don't know how that works, like, licensing wise. I guess it's probably doable since they have Tom Holland Spider-Man, but I guess just, like, why would they do that? Like, Sony has a terrible track record with making live action Marvel movies. They have a perfect track record with making animated Marvel movies since they made 2 and they were great, but I have no idea why they would have done that. That seems like a terrible idea. I feel like Sony should put out a couple of bangers before they're ready to start just, like, handing the keys over to their little baby.
And now you got the director pretty much coming out and saying, yeah, there's really no reason to get invested in this at all. The idea that this is some sort of superhero origin movie for, like, 4 women, and it's in a standalone world that doesn't matter, that you're not going to see anything else.
I'm sorry, did he say 4 women, or did he say 4, like the number 4?
Now you got the director pretty much coming out and saying, yeah, there's really no reason to get invested in this at all. The idea that this is some sort of superhero origin movie for, like, 4 women, and it's in a standalone world that doesn't matter, that you're not going to see anything else for.
I don't understand. Like, sincerely, what possesses this person? It's just, oh, it's women, and you have to make a big deal out of that every time. I don't get it. And it does not at all to me look like a girl boss movie, like, even in the slightest. Especially because they literally did, like, a weird sultry ad. It's Dakota Johnson, right? That's who that is, I think. Is that Dakota? I don't even... You know what? Fuck. It's gonna bug me if I don't know. Why do I ever question myself? Why do I ever challenge my own immediate first assumptions? Yeah, so, I mean, like, Dakota Johnson doing this weird, like, sultry advertisement for it where she was like, you're gonna watch the movie. You're gonna see it twice. You're gonna like it. Like, this weird, like, I guess they're trying to be sexy. Like, I don't know. Like, it does not look to me like a girl boss movie. It looks like it's going to be... I don't think it's going to have any sort of ideology behind it. I think it's going to be complete nonsense, and I think we are going to collectively as a community love it for that. Pronouns wise, I go by any. I don't really mind one way or the other. I appreciate asking, though. You know, it's a worthwhile question.
what the fuck is the point of this movie? In confirming the film will have little to offer audiences outside of those with a specific affinity for the web slinger's female allies or morbid curiosity towards the fact it actually went to the Clone Saga storyline for inspiration, Madam Web director S.J. Clarkson has revealed that rather than taking place in Sony's Spider-Man without a Spider-Man cinematic universe, the Dakota Johnson-led spinoff instead exists in its own standalone world. Now, of course, this is the same universe where you have Venom, Venom 2, Morbius, this movie, and, you know, down the line you have the Kraven the Hunter movie that's coming out, and eventually we'll see Venom 3. Who knows what else they have planned for that Sony Spider-Man with no Spider-Man universe. Clarkson confirmed this production fumble during January 19th interview given to Entertainment Weekly's Devin Coogan.
Okay, I don't know this news outlet. My guess is that it's probably kind of a chud one, just based off of some of the stuff that they've shown before. I could be wrong. I don't want to like slander these particular people, but you know that's the impression that I get, kind of. But this is so funny to me, like that they're just straight up calling it a fumble here, because like it is dumb. Like it is a really weird decision to make. But yeah, I don't even know. It's good. It's good stuff.
Promotion the film's upcoming release. Speaking of her decision to take a more grounded approach to Cassandra Webb's silver screen debut, again, keep in mind that Madam Web is supposed to be like an old woman in a freaking wheelchair to keep like life support stuff to keep her alive, and she's blind. Instead, they have Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. So
wait. Are we upset about that? Do we have a problem with them making a disabled character not disabled in something? Because in the case of Echo, you guys bitched and moaned about the fact that they had a deaf character in a Marvel show, and you guys whined about all of these demographics she belongs to, but now they're like, oh, here's a disabled person, but we're actually just gonna make her a conventionally attractive celebrity, and you're like, whoa, that's not okay. Like what's the standard here? Because it's not okay. It's not that disability is a bad thing, although I imagine you guys would probably complain if this was a disabled character, but it's not disability that we have a problem with. And it's not comic accuracy, because we tried that with Echo and we bitched and moaned about that. Like, what is it? Literally just whatever decision they make, if women are involved, it's a bad decision. Like, is that it? Because I cannot fathom the logic that would lead a person to both of those conclusions at the same time. I cannot think of it. Like, maybe these are just like high level ideas that I'm incapable of comprehending, but there's something going on in this guy's brain.
Obviously, they're doing a lot of things different with this. This debut, rather than the more fantastical and bombastic on one scene in most other Hollywood superhero fare, the director explained she did so in service of what she saw as the psychological, cerebral nature of the titular heroine's power.
Oh, also, there's no way this movie is going to be grounded. There is no fucking way. There is no goddamn chance that this movie is going to be grounded. Like, absolutely, it's gonna be insane. I don't know. I don't buy the marketing unless the marketing's like whole goal is anti-marketing, in which case, okay, yeah, it's working.
Not going to sound too wanky about it, but what's going on in Cassie's head and her grappling with that detail, Clarkson? Is she going insane? Is this real? Is she battling? She's battling with that within herself and trying to understand it. In light of the supposed desire to keep the film from getting too in the sky with its plot, the Marvel's Jessica Jones and Marvel's Defenders director, and I think there was Jessica Jones season 1 was fine.
Oh, she did Jessica Jones. Oh, that feels like a positive mark on her ability, at least in terms of, you know, Marvel content.
A big fan of what they did in season 2. I was not a big fan of Defenders either, just for the record. Then revealed Cassandra's story takes place completely separate from either the MCU, Sony's Spider-Man universe, or any other established continuity. She's definitely in a standalone world, explicitly confirmed Clarkson. I was just able to have free reign and let the movie be what it needed to be, as opposed.
Oh yeah, no, the trailer was so fun. It was horribly edited. The music was confusing. Like, it was just this absolute disaster of a trailer in like all of the best ways. I want to see this movie. I want it injected into my veins. It looked ridiculous. So I cannot wait for this movie to come out.
Opposed to trying to force it into something else. That was a gift, by the way, to be able to take something and bring a fresh and I hope original take to it. However, while Clarkson appears to frame the decision,
this literally, like, all of this stuff feels like the exact fluff that they complain about other directors not doing. Like, this is the same shit that they complained about Charmin Obaid-Chinoy not doing. This was the same shit that they complained about Rachel Zegler, because those are the two people that are like in the zeitgeist with these people. Like, these are the things that you guys complained about them not doing, about them not coming out and being like, oh, I'm really excited about this. I'm super invested in bringing an interesting original take to the character. I'm interested in telling a good story. And you guys were like, oh, they didn't do that. It proves that they hate these things. But then, like, all of a sudden it's a bad thing when the director comes out and says exactly the thing that they've been begging for someone to say for the longest goddamn time. Like, I do not get it in the slightest. Like, I do not, I guess I do get it, because obviously, like, there is no real internal logic here besides like towing a party line. But it's just like, I don't understand how a person can be comfortable with that, I guess.
Vision as a purely creative one. Given the recent whisper on the street, it seems more likely the move was decided upon thanks to Sony execs absolutely destroying both the film's internal and franchise timeline in service of chasing marketing synergy with the MCU. And then they go into exactly what we just talked about. The whole, it was supposed to be Andrew Garfield, then they switched to Tom Holland, then they had to rewrite a bunch of shit because it was supposed to be set in a different time period based on that, and it ended up being a complete and total catastrophe. Maybe it was they just had it because they fucked so much continuity up. You know, there is something nice about these standalone things that aren't connected to bigger universes, like we saw with Joker, like we saw with the Batman. And, you know, sometimes people appreciate that because people are...
Wait, oh, does this guy like the Batman? That would shock me. Like, sincerely, that would shock me if this guy likes the Batman. I guess maybe I'll look at it because I kind of want to know, but like, that was a good movie, so why the fuck does this guy like it?
Getting tired of these shared universes. At the same time, if you have something like this that really has nothing of note to pull people in on other than the fact that these people are all Spider Women, the idea that
that's not the thing that people give a shit about. They didn't take the lead actress from 50 Shades of Grey because they were interested in making a girl power movie. Like, it's literally just that there are women that you are excited about. Like, you can't provide an example of that being a big thing, of people advertising. Like, did they ever advertise it as being like a women's Spider-Man movie or a women's superhero movie? Or was it literally just there are women in here? Like, I feel like you'd be able to at least demonstrate that in some manner. But okay.
It's just completely disconnected, that you're never going to see it connect to anything Spider-Man related, then what the fuck is the point of all of this? That's what everyone's asking. It looks like the director, if anybody was questioning going to see it just to keep up with it or see if it might do something like that, no, don't bother. If you want to see Cringe Girl Boss team up, then come to our movie. Other than that, there's really no reason. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the...
Oh my god. Okay. I don't know why I expect to not be disappointed by any of these, but this is like legitimately below fridge temperature IQ takes. Okay, all right, we're going to give him a couple more in the more recent stuff, and I kind of want to go to, like, whatever his most popular stuff is. Ooh, okay, so I did my video in response to this. If you're interested in that, like, I did a little bit of a longer kind of discussion about the whole thing, and I thought it was actually something really interesting, and I actually was able to, like, play clips and whatnot. But people were talking about the Indiana Jones game. I've literally only seen the clip that was going around on Twitter, so I have no idea what this guy's going to talk about. I would not trust an advertisement for acne cream on the YouTubes. I mean, like, maybe it's fine. It's just a thought.
Over the past decade, we've seen so many franchises that have been completely and utterly destroyed, especially anything that might be attached to Lucasfilm. We know about the disaster that was Indiana Jones 5, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Not only was it a massive flop, losing nearly $300 million.
I feel like I mention this every single live stream. I still haven't seen that movie. I still haven't gotten around to it. And I act like I posture like I wear that as a badge of honor. I actually have no strong opinion one way or the other because I haven't seen it. But yeah, no, I have no idea. So I'm willing to completely assume that it destroyed the franchise. I doubt that it actually did because the original trilogy of films isn't really affected by that. But I'm willing to just assume that that's the case and roll with it.
For Disney, but of course embarrassed the character of Indiana Jones with Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character. So anything associated with Indiana Jones going forward in the future, people are going to be really worried that they might do the same exact thing. And of course, the next Indiana Jones project in the works is actually a video game. Bethesda, in coordination with Lucasfilm, is putting out a new Indiana Jones game, and the trailer just dropped yesterday. We finally got the official name reveal, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And to be honest with you,
oh, that's such a lame name. I just saw like a couple of clips of it. I did not realize that it was called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Oh, that sounds so boring. And it's made by Bethesda. Okay. No, maybe I am on Ryan's side in this one.
There was a lot of things in this trailer that were received really, really well. Some of it looked awesome. Some of the action looked very cool. You switch between third person and first person. I love just the art for the game itself. Really gives the vibe of an Indiana Jones movie. And even the trailer is...
Okay, wait. So what's he going to be upset about? I have an idea of what he's going to be upset about. But, like, what is worth making an almost 6-minute YouTube video about this game? To the point where we're calling it Indiana Jones might get destroyed again?
Is being really well received for the most part because there were...
Oh, yeah, fans are worried game could be a woke disaster. So, like, what's... Like, place your bets.
Elements of it that really did feel like you were in an old school Indiana Jones movie. Troy Baker does the voice, obviously trying to do an imitation of Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. Little hit or miss at times, but there was something in this trailer that made people really scratch their heads and wonder, are we about to see the same exact thing? I'm going to play through this. You're going to see some cool moments, and then we're going to get to that line, and we're going to show somebody that's working on this game that also has people very, very worried. But let's watch this first.
Is it literally... Oh, my God. It's just going to be one line in a trailer and a gay person.
Again, there's really cool shit in here. The fact that as you're whipping, you're in third person, then you go back to first person, whipping people in front, like, it does look cool, and I like...
I'll be honest with you, that action doesn't really excite me all that much. Like, I'm not to say that it couldn't be good, but like video game action in particular feels really hit or miss for me. To the point where I barely even play games for action anymore. You know, like I love something like Fallout New Vegas or whatever, but I don't love it for its incredible, you know, gunplay or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical. It looked fine, I guess. It looked like it'll probably be fun, but I don't know if it'll be something super engaging. My hot take, my video game hot take, and I've only played the first Insomniac Spider-Man. I don't like most of the mechanics in that, like the fight mechanics and stuff. I like the idea of having a ton of ridiculous like abilities and stuff, so you're constantly like hitting a bunch of different keys and trying to like chain attacks and whatever. But I did not enjoy like the weird physics and stuff where, you know, you can hit someone into the air and then you can just like keep punching them in the air. Like that made no sense to me, and it did kind of take me out of the game. So I don't know. Maybe I just have like bad video game action takes, but that didn't excite me very much.
Like how they match up the punches to the song, all that shit. But you're gonna see why we're worried in a second.
Is that like, it's like jingling keys in front of you? Like I threw my keys off to the side. I was like, oh, punches synced up to the synchronized with the music. Like that's the thing that you're noticing about this.
Second.
I've run-ins with these guys before. Trust me, it ain't a walk in the park.
Okay then, let's see if we can keep up.
What do you mean if I can keep up?
There it is. Okay then, let's see if you can keep up from his female companion. Now,
that was it. That was it. It was a woman saying, "Let's see if you can keep up." It was just like a lady saying, like making a little joke. Like that was like, have you met a woman? Have you met even one? Literally one woman. Have you seen how women talk? They talk very similarly to other people. They talk very similarly to men and non-binary people. See, there we go. It works. Other people. There are other categories of people. They make jokes sometimes. And they tease you sometimes. That's the thing. Did like a woman tease him? Did like a girl tease him in grade school? She like made fun of his shoes or something, and now anytime that a woman makes a joke ever, he like can't handle it emotionally. He has to make an entire goddamn 6-minute long YouTube video about how offensive that is.
female companions are very tried and true in the history of Indiana Jones. We've seen it multiple times, including some strong women. So that's not necessarily anything worth noting. But in today's era, where we just saw Indiana Jones get completely and totally embarrassed by Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, obviously a line like that is going to make people raise an eyebrow.
I feel like that's not obvious at all. I cannot imagine, like, I wouldn't have noticed that. That wouldn't have even meant anything to me. In fact, I don't think most of the people who are offended by this noticed that when they watched it. I think that somebody had to point it out to most of you, because I don't think that the average person would just like see a lady make a comment and get like this fucking triggered over it. But I do, like, one of the things that just blows my mind about this, and this is the thing that I really like, I wish that I could find some way to understand, is that these people will mock the ever-living shit out of you for caring about progressivism in media, for being offended by a joke, or, you know, being upset by something that happens in a movie. And then this is the shit they give a shit about, right? Like, someone over here will be like, oh, I didn't like this movie because it was racist or whatever. And then these motherfuckers will be like, ha, you fucking loser. Ha, you triggered liberal coward, you know, cuck, whatever. And then you hop over to their YouTube channel, and it's literally just like, a girl said a mean thing, and then you actually watch the clip, and it's like a girl making a silly joke, and like that is the thing that you're passionate about. That's what's offending you. That's like, I really want to get inside of a person like this. This is their brain. I like understand what in the world this world that they live in is.
Especially when we then get a behind-the-scenes look at the developer. Welp, it's going to be another L for Indiana Jones. And this right here, the senior narrative designer, we have the opportunity to tell Indiana Jones to modern audiences. And this is Edward Curtis Ives here. I gotta be real, I don't know anything about him, although he's got a protected Twitter account, but this is him very much repping the Bethesda gay gear, and he's even got another gay ribbon on it.
So this is our news. A person has a rainbow shirt. More at 5 p.m. What the fuck? What the fuck is this video?
Sure, we do have a little bit of what he said in this behind-the-scenes developer direct right here.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience.
For a modern gaming audience. Modern audience, that is a key word, a buzzword that if you hear that...
Could that not be equally just referring to the gameplay, though? I mean, maybe they're going to say something else, but off the top of my head, that feels like like just a thing that you would say if you're making a game with like cool mechanics and stuff. You know, like I would imagine if we were coming out, you know, if Fallout 5 is coming out in, I assume like 2045, that they're going to say something like, oh, this is coming out for, you know, modern gaming audiences. And it's going to be because the gameplay is super exciting or engaging or higher quality. But no, it's like, it's just an immediate trigger word. Again, you know, maybe they're going to say something else.
You should all of a sudden be very concerned because we've heard that before multiple times. Usually it means an infusion of modern day, current day identity politics into stories. I don't think that you should be telling a modern day story. I think you should be telling a story that's set in the fucking 1930s because that's when Indiana Jones is. But
they're not telling a modern day story. They're telling the story to a modern audience. And if you don't think that stuff in the 1930s can be relevant to modern audiences, well, you might be a Republican.
let's let him continue a little bit here.
Anonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience.
Hey, that's the same
Our
clip.
game is all about putting you in Indy's shoes, letting you see and feel what he sees and feels. For us at Machine Games, we do that best through first person. It's the ideal perspective to bring you into the rich, exciting, and interactive world we built.
Now, that's really the snippet, obviously, that people are concerned about. And the idea.
That's it. That's it. It's literally like one line in a trailer that nobody noticed except for maybe one fucking chud who spread it to all of the other ones. And the word modern. Like that is what is making this game a potential disaster. Like that's the thing that we're triggered over here. And like all the other stuff that this person is saying sounds like exactly what you would want out of a game developer. Again, it's a Bethesda game, so like I wouldn't get your hopes up, but like still this feels like exactly what you would want out of a person talking, like making a video game.
Idea about telling the story to a modern audience. Obviously, there's a reason that people are very sensitive to this shit because we've been burned time after time.
Oh, you're sensitive? Oh, do you need a safe space? Do you need oh fuck, I lost it. I literally every time I want to do this, there's like do you need to cry? Do you need to take some time? Do you need a trigger warning? Like like oh my god. I don't know. It's beyond parody.
Time after time, especially with characters that have a lot of meaning to people. Now, I gotta be honest, the trailer overall, there was a lot of cinematics, but there was also a couple gameplay elements to let you understand what the feel's going to be like. I overall enjoyed the trailer, but I get why people...
So you enjoyed the trailer, then why is your video about how it's probably going to be a disaster? Like, sincerely, if that's the thing that you liked about it, why... Or if you broadly liked it, why is it titled this way? Is it literally just because it gets you clicks? Like it just offends your audience or whatever? Like, do you have to pretend to hate things because it gets you, because you make money pretending to hate things? Like, is that really all that we have here? I don't know. I just like, I can't fathom living my life this way. Like having to pretend to give a shit about singular sentences in video game trailers that aren't even like expressing a specific opinion. They're literally just like making a silly little side comment.
Are worried. Is there anything that's telling you there's going to be a fucking woke nightmare and a woke mess? Nothing necessarily, but certainly people already see the cracks and the potential warning signs, and they're hoping that this isn't another disaster for the...
Nothing necessarily, and then you've got destroyed and disaster, and like...
character of Indiana Jones. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, there's a lot of things in the trailer that I did like. I highly recommend everybody go out there, watch the full 3-minute trailer, and get a sense of what it is about the vibe that they're going for with this, and I think they did a decent job of capturing that vibe.
Okay, then what are the commenters saying about this? That's if like this feels like something where people could go either way. So here, Indiana Jones for a modern audience is a death sentence. 817 likes. They can keep their modern audiences. We can keep our cat. Like modern audience. These activists hate strong male characters and beautiful women. Based on fucking what? It's literally about getting into the emotional headspace and experience of a strong male character. Like that's what the game is about. Modern audience. Dear God. It's like, it's modern audience. Constant shit. Like that's it. That's like, it's NPC shit. It's literally just the same things over and over and over and over again. There's not an independent thought betwixt the lot of them. Okay. All right, we're gonna give this a couple more, or maybe just one more. I kind of want to go through. Oh, I wanted to go through this person's like most popular. I want to see like, okay, what's the cream of the crop here? What is the best content that this guy has? So we've got Kate Blanchett, Aubrey Plaza. Oh, I know what that's about. That'd be really boring to talk about. Johnny Depp fans woke Hollywood disaster with the woman can't. Okay, never watched that. I'd almost talk about Gina Carano, but I feel like that topic's been done to death, so fuck it. Let's talk about Kate Blanchett destroying woke identity politics. Who wants to bet that she is not going to be destroying anything at all? That she probably just made like a comment, a side comment that they're radically reinterpreting to support their politics. Actually, let's see. Can we get a hint from? Let's see, the real Galadriel, his reaction when he got called out for his beliefs. Ooh, okay. You know what? Maybe she's gonna say something spicy. Maybe there are gonna be some hot takes here. Let's see if the comments are giving me hope.
It seems like identity politics has infested nearly every aspect of our day-to-day lives, and people are sick and tired of it, especially in the entertainment industry. Hollywood has been pushing this for years. So when you see something that has a contrary narrative to that...
I know that this isn't directly related to the contents of this video, but if Hollywood's been pushing it for years, why haven't they gone broke by now? Like, seriously, why do they still have money if they have been pushing this for years? What is the logical through line here?
You see something from Hollywood, from the entertainment industry, that pushes back on the concept of woke identity politics, everybody's going to pay attention. And that's exactly what happened with Kate Blanchett in a clip from her new movie Tar that is going absolutely viral because she brings it all to the forefront in this scene. Kate Blanchett...
Oh. Are you fucking serious? It's a clip of a character she's playing in a movie? Dude, okay, talk about like freaking clickbait. Like, talk about just coming up with a disingenuous title to advertise your shit. Kate Blanchett destroys woke identity politics, by which we mean a character portrayed by Kate Blanchett.
In Tar dismantles woke identity politics. Don't be so eager to be offended. And in this movie, Kate Blanchett plays a conductor and a composer. And in the scene, she's talking to her students. And when she asks what they think about a certain composer, they say, well, you know, I don't know because straight white male. And she proceeds to absolutely obliterate them. Let's get into this article here. In a new movie, Tar, Kate Blanchett plays renowned orchestra conductor and composer whose unchecked ego leads to her ultimate downfall. But the movie isn't entirely unsympathetic to its monstrous heroine. In one scene, she holds a masterclass where her ideas about music collide with her students' woke identity politics.
Oh my god. So she's the villain of this movie. She's the antagonist of this film. But this article has to like pull something out of that. So they're like, oh, well, she was portrayed sympathetically in this one scene where she is anti-woke. Like literally, oh, she does bad stuff constantly and then she does something anti-woke. So I guess she must be like kind of good. I guess there must be something good about this character. Dude's literally like, you could watch goddamn like The Lion King as Scar is just like murdering characters left and right, and then he could turn to the camera and be like, I think identity politics are good, and they'd be like, you know, well, both sides had some good points. Like, oh my god, I haven't seen this movie, so like I'm just guessing based off of the stuff that they're saying, but the stuff that they're saying is suggesting to me that this movie was probably making fun of them and they just don't have a fucking clue. Okay, that's good. That's good shit.
And the results are ugly. The scene shows Lydia Tarr, Kate Blanchett, teaching a Bach piece to her students. When she asks the student what he thinks of the piece, he replies, and let's just get into the clip. Now, there's a little bit to this, and it goes on, so we're gonna let it play for a while. But she's sitting there playing Johann Sebastian Bach to him, and this was his response.
Okay, and reminder, like, this is supposedly like the antagonist of this film. They referred to her as monstrous even in the article.
Now, the big question for you is, what do you think, Max?
You play really well. But nowadays, white male cis composers, just not my thing.
Don't be so eager to be offended.
That, I don't like the acting. Sorry. I mean, like, she's doing fine, but I don't like his performance very much. No offense, actor.
The narcissism of small differences leads to the most boring conformity.
The narcissism of small differences leads to the most boring conformity. And this is very reflective of what we see on current college campuses.
Are you fucking insane? You agree with that fucking quote? You agree with the narcissism of small differences? It makes for boring literally your entire... We just looked at your Indiana Jones video where the comments are just everyone saying the same thing over and over again. Like, nobody has a unique thought amongst the entire lot of you. Like, you do not want to be complaining about conformity, Ryan. You are literally... the audience that you have crafted is conformist to by its very nature, like to its fundamental goddamn core. You are conformist. I cannot imagine that your takeaway from that being that they're the bad guys, like that the lefties who all at least ostensibly support like everybody, you know, dressing and behaving however they like, that that you're really gonna come out here and be like, oh man, yeah, they're all conformists, but us, we're individuals, and that's why every single one of us says the exact same thing. And every single Twitter thread and every single discussion about every single movie, we have not a single individual thought between the 7 billion of us.
Even reflective of what we've seen, the attacks that are on basically anything that can be considered of European origin. When you look at classical music, those things have been said, especially taught at college campuses in recent years. This is a little
By fucking whom? Like, serious? Like, who? Who's saying that? I'm not even denying it's necessarily happening, but like, I am on a college campus. I mean, I'm not currently, but I'm a little over a mile away from one, and I go there quite frequently, and I have a degree in sociology. Like, I feel like if they were going to be shit talking cis white male composers, they would have done that by now. I mean, we've discussed music, and like, that's never come up. In fact, cis white male as being a bad thing has never been a thing that has come up in a bad way, like, at all.
bit of pushback on that.
I guess I do the rest, okay? I mean, no, wait, anyway.
Oh, well, then you must be aware that Perez once famously stated that jazz was a Negro product exploited by the Jews. But you see, the problem with enrolling yourself as an ultrasonic epistemic dissident is that if Bach's talent can be reduced to his gender, birth country, religion, sexuality, and so on, then so can yours. Someday, Max, when you go out into the world and you guest conduct for a major or minor orchestra, you may notice that the players have more than light bulbs and music on their stands.
Okay, I can already guess, and I have not seen this film, but I can guess that probably the critique that they're making with this character is the fact that this is a right-wing straw man of left-wing positions, right? That left-wingers are reducing everybody down to their gender, down to their, immutable characteristics. And like, obviously that's not actually what, intersectionality or feminism or like what any of these social movements are pushing for. It's entirely a thing that you guys have invented in your own head, and like 3 Twitter users have validated to you. But that's my guess is what the critique that this character is making. But I somehow doubt that that's what Ryan is going to take away from this clip.
They will also be handed rating sheets, the purpose of which is to rate you. What kind of criteria would you hope that they would use to do this? Your score reading and stick technique, or something else?
It's the perfect way to throw back. Again, I don't know what Kate Blanchett's actual beliefs are on this stuff. I have no fucking idea. I know this.
If you don't know what her fucking beliefs are, why the hell are you putting her in your... Like, this feels super, super dishonest. I mean, it doesn't feel... It is dishonest. Like, you are flat out being disingenuous. You are... I mean, you're lying by saying that Kate Blanchett is doing this. I know that you don't feel that that's what you're doing, but if you're going to pretend that this is something that she said, and then you don't even include that it's from a movie until literally the last possible set of words in your incredibly long title. Like, nobody saw that. People saw Kate Blanchett destroys woke identity politics. That's what I saw. That was what people who clicked on this video saw. You are being incredibly dishonest by pretending that this is something that she said and not a character. And I don't know. Like, I find that shameful.
Clip is going viral though because it resonates with a lot of people. The idea, what she said before, if you're going to decide, how important someone is, or if we should respect that person or whatever based on their gender, based on their sexuality, based on their skin color, based on their nation of origin, based on their sexuality, well, then people are going to do the same exact thing to you. And this little bitch right here in the movie has an interesting response.
All right, everyone. Using Max's criteria, let's consider Max's thing. In this case, Anna Bobasdottir. Now, can we agree on 2 pieces of observation? 1, that Anna was born in Iceland, and 2, that she is, in a Waldorf teacher kind of way, a super hot young woman. Show of hands. All right, now let's turn our gaze back to the piano bench up there and see if we can square how any of those things possibly relate to the person we see seated before us. Where are you going?
It does not shock me that this student would be leaving. She comes across as a very bad teacher. Just saying, like, that's,
And you are a robot.
Wait, what did he say?
You're a fun bitch.
Oh.
And you are a robot. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the architect of your soul appears to be social media.
The woke SJW character randomly calling a out of nowhere a woman a fucking bitch. That sounds about right. Calling his teacher that sounds about right. Their impression of this sort of person.
You want to dance the mask, you must service the composer.
The architect of your soul seems to be social media. Now, this is just one clip from a full-length movie.
Guys, you motherfucker, that is what you are. That is your entire shtick is being manufactured by social media. You do not get to complain about this. You do not. I'm taking what you do not have First Amendment rights to talk about this. They have been taken away from you. I am taking them away right now. You don't get to complain about social media being the the architect of people's lives. That is your entire shtick. All of you motherfuckers liked The Last Jedi until you were told not to by Twitter. Like there are literally clips of Geeks and Gamers. I don't know about Ryan specifically. There are clips of these people talking about how much they liked that movie until the backlash suddenly, ooh, now all of a sudden they've completely changed their opinion on it. Like, it's so dishonest, and it is so funny to me that this is the shtick we're going for.
Movie. I have no idea of all the context surrounding it, but there is no doubt that right now a lot of people were talking about this clip because it's just not super common to see something from the entertainment industry that comes out that is putting woke nonsense, woke identity politics on full display and completely and totally dismantling it.
And I hate to break it to you, I think this movie was making fun of you. Again, I don't know that. I haven't seen it either. But I think this movie was probably making fun of you.
Let me know what you think about this clip with Cate Blanchett and her new movie, Tar, in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so that is pretty much all I think I wanted to cover on this person. I feel safe now in saying Ryan Kinel is a bad YouTuber. He is bad at making content. He is bad at making arguments. He is bad at analysis. He is bad at talking about movies. He is bad at making interesting videos. He is bad at not just restating the same thing over and over again. We have successfully, I would argue, proven it with facts and logic, which is to say not simply stating our opinion, our absolutely far out there ridiculous opinion as complete and utter fact, and instead like actually engaging a little bit with the media. I don't know. I doubt that I'm ever going to revisit this person all that much because it's so bad. Like, it's embarrassing. It's incredibly unfortunate that this is content that a person is making and feels comfortable with the fact they're making. But nonetheless, that is the environment that we are in. That is the world that we live in. If you're watching this currently, I would appreciate, like liking the stream, subscribing, all of that business. I guess we're trying to get to 1,000. That does seem like kind of the goal. But nonetheless, yeah, you have had it sufficiently demonstrated to you that Ryan Kinel is really bad at YouTube. At some point, I'll probably do this where some other like Chud Loser, whatever YouTubers. If anyone is a fan of these people or is into this sort of thing, I would love to talk to you. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic. I would legitimately, seriously enjoy talking to you. Like, either leave a comment, put it in chat, like whatever, and I will give you, like, I will contact you on Discord. I would love to have a conversation because I do not understand. I physically cannot comprehend how you can get anything of value out of this content besides like mockery and I guess the generic how not to think. Because I don't get it. I do not understand. If anyone can reach out to me, if anyone can explain to me what they're getting out of this, I would love to hear it. But nonetheless, I appreciate y'all sticking around this long. To anybody who is watching the whole or most of the whole time, this was a good one. I don't know when I will be live again. Probably this weekend though. So if that's your shtick, probably like Saturday or Sunday is my guess. I got a video coming out on Thursday about incels. I had a video about this particular guy on one of his videos today. So if those things interest you, it'll be a video on incels and on a progressive person who I think is really, really bad at arguing against them to the point that they're actively probably kind of a detriment to their movement. But nonetheless, appreciate sticking around. I already said that, y'all take care. I will see you at some point in the future. I'm now going to sit here and wait probably not a couple minutes, but wait a minute so that the stream can update, because otherwise it's going to end and be complete. Like, it's just going to end mid-sentence.